We talking about 1973. It's time. Operation Sweeper Banners is almost complete. Bring it home. Bring home the championship. Welcome to another episode of Hoopertry Emotion Podcast. We got ourselves, myself, Eric L, aka 4 more wins to the championship, and we got Armani, also Ernest and Josh, and aren't here, so it was just gonna be us two for a couple minutes.
They still on the injury report. Well, Ernest went down with an injury, and Josh is still out of action, man. Like, bro, we waiting for you to return to the pod, bro. Like, what's up?
Still sorry for the 6 pick.
Man.
Anyway, this episode, we're going to recap last night's Game 7 between the Spurs and Thunder. Spurs winning it 111-103 to win the Western Conference and advance to the NBA Finals for the first time since 2014. Victor Wembanyama winning the Western Conference Finals MVP trophy, and rightfully so. He was the best player in the series, especially in Game 1 and in Game 4 and in Game 7. The guards for the Spurs with Stephon Castle and De'Aaron Fox and Devin Vassell all came to play last night. The big defensive block by Luke Cornett over Isaiah Hartenstein late in the fourth quarter, just to preserve the win.
That was also the best defense he played this entire series, man.
Dylan Harper, the rookie, making big shots in the fourth quarter. So it was an ultimate overall team effort from the Spurs. Experience, be damned by them. Is a young team that they're hungry. But we're going to see in the big stage if they can take this momentum back home to San Antonio, which they have home court in the NBA Finals starting Wednesday against the New York Knicks. Very interesting to see how this series will play out. Remember, these two teams met in the NBA Cup Finals out in Vegas back in December, which the Knicks wound up winning that game, 124-113. And also, these two teams split the regular season games, 1-1. Spurs winning it back in San Antonio back on New Year's Eve, and the Knicks beating the Spurs back on March 1st. These are the two best teams left remaining. And also, I can tell you there's the fact that the NBA is super happy about this matchup, getting Wemby in the Garden with the Knicks. The history between these two teams, beating back in 1999 in the finals. And also, let's not forget the World Cup. Also got France playing on the 16th of June. So that's the same night of Game 6 of the NBA Finals if it gets to that. So you never know how this thing will close on what the series will end up. But it's going to be one of the, I can honestly say it's going to be one of the most viewed NBA Finals matches in a long time.
Definitely. I definitely agree with that. And I mean, the biggest point, even if you subtract Victor Wembanyama from if you subtract the San Antonio Spurs from being in the NBA Finals, I think
it's the Knicks.
Yeah, it's the headliner. You know what I mean? Like, having made the finals since 99.
I know last year, Game 7, which is Game 7 between the Thunder and Pacers, but
yeah. I mean,
let's be real.
And like I said, last year, like, that was still entertaining for me as a basketball. That was entertaining for us because, like, we watching two new teams face off in the finals.
Small market teams.
Right. Right. And it just show all the parity in the league, you know? So this year will mark, the 8th year that we're going to crown, 8th year, right? That we're going to crown a new champion. And it just so happened to be that the Knicks are in the finals. So regardless of the fact, whoever was going to be the Knicks was going to headline it, and viewership was going to be there regardless.
So let's recap from what happened last night, Game 7. Your thoughts on how the Spurs pulled it off, Game 7? Because for me, I thought that the injuries caught up to the Thunder with J-Dub and A.J. Mitchell going out, so it decreased their shot creation, and also
True. Yep.
SGA he had to work much harder to score, and in the last couple of games, it's starting to wear down, and it lit in this and the guards of the Spurs, especially with Castle and Vassell, they literally wore down SGA.
It ironically, Shai played his best game of the series last night. 34 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, shooting 12 for 21. Like, even though they was doubling him, even though he was gassed, he was looking for a second option. Points wise, analytically, field goal wise, that was his best game.
Yeah, but he needed help. And one Chet Holmgren, who didn't have a good series, punctuated with cardio, 4 points, 2 shots, and getting sunned by Devin Vassell. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know.
What I watched last night, I watched somebody just lose their confidence. And after Wemby dunked on him, he wasn't trying to go back at him at all. There was 2 plays. I thought that was very interesting. And it just shows you the mindset that Chet was in after Wemby dunked on him. They passed him the ball on the wing. He jab stepped Wemby just a little bit, and Wemby didn't fall for the jab, and he kicked the ball right back. And I'm like, yo, like, what's up? And you can even hear Reggie Miller, Jamal Crawford on the commentary talking about, yo, go at him. And like, he just refused to go against that matchup. And then there was also another play where there was a it was a scramble mode, and they had pass shut the ball. He had a wide open shot, and instead he pump fake, took a dribble, kicked it. I mean, it still resulted in a 3-point shot anyway, but something like that, you gotta shoot that to be able to get your confidence back. And it just this entire series, Chet has shown that he didn't want no parts of Wemby at all, which is like really weird because for Wemby, we knew how much this meant to him, even going back before they made the NBA.
This was one of his big his rivals.
Exactly. So,
and you saw after the clock went zero, his passion, his emotion, just you saw it. You literally saw it. So this series meant a lot to him.
Yeah. So, and even though people say like, well, they just made it to the finals, like the job's not finished, the goal is to win it all. But like, I can't remember the last player of this magnitude of a superstar stature that shows this much passion for the game, that gives you a reason to care for the game. Like you could tell he really loves his game, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be real interesting to see how this series plays out. But before we get into that, the Thunder, where do they go from there? Because now, after last year was, we got a dynasty brewing.
They were so quick.
What do they do next year?
Yeah.
They do next year, and they basically brought everyone back. And now, with this loss, now there's questions, serious questions. Questions like Giannis. They
That's
go
the
after
elephant
Giannis.
in the room. Yeah.
Do they even go after Evan Mobley? What they going to do with Chet Holmgren? Or they be able to keep the depth in the lineup? What they going to do with the draft picks? What they going to do? Are they going to package draft picks to get Giannis or some other big star to pair up with SGA? So now we got questions lingering up with the Thunder.
I mean, you said it. There's a bunch of different avenues what they could do. Giannis is the elephant in the room. But if I'm Oklahoma, I don't want to become desperate. Even though I couldn't win with this core, I don't know if Giannis is the right move. You know, these guys are what, 24 to how old is Shai? Shai is like what, 27, 28 years old.
Yes, I think mid-20s.
So he's creeping up 30s. Giannis is what, 30, 31?
With calf
I don't
injuries.
know. Right, with calf injuries, even though Giannis, if you replace Chet with Giannis will definitely step up to the challenge with Wemby, and especially Oklahoma. However the finals play out, Oklahoma and every other team in the league, well, every other team in the Western Conference knows that they has to go up against the Spurs. If I replace Chet with Giannis, I know Giannis is gonna step up to the challenge. I know, Giannis will be someone to be reckoned with, you know? Like the equalizer, that's the word I'm looking for, the equalizer to Victor Wembanyama. But I don't know if Oklahoma should get desperate. But also, then again, like same thing what we did with those picks when we brought in Anthony Davis and that young core. You gotta flip the picks, and what happens? You end up getting the championship out of it. So
If I'm the Thunder, I'll make minor tweaks on the margins, but I'm not gonna be desperate for a big shakeup. Because remember this is the same
I
same
agree.
squad that won the championship last year. So
Yep.
it's like
And I mean, I
no,
look at the and the thing is like
and he got a
the
whole bunch of draft picks coming up. So it's like they can really
right.
like stretch this out.
And I look at the bench unit, I look at the role players of the Oklahoma City Thunder, and everybody was giving you buckets.
hmm
Alex Caruso came in game 1 and scored 30, and
He, Jerry McCain,
Jared McCain came in had a 20+ game in what game
game
3?
three, yeah, game three,
Right. So and then you got Jalen Williams off the bench, not J Dub, the other one.
yeah.
He was like 5 for 7 from 3. You know, so they just got a bunch of players that they
Also,
could
Casey
rotate.
Wallace,
Casey Wallace hoop last night, game 7. Even though Shet was a no-show, Casey Wallace did not want to go home last night. So with all of these quality guys, even the guys we haven't mentioned, the guys who were once in the rotation last year, who's currently not, like Kenrick Williams, and then you also have
Isaiah Joe.
Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, like those were pieces of the Thunder winning the championship last year. So they just have so many good guys. I don't I don't know. I don't think Giannis is the move for the Thunder.
Nah, I don't think so either. I mean, they could actually trade for Giannis, like
Yeah.
package up a whole bunch of picks and
In the
young
league, they
players.
have the best package
Yeah,
for any superstar. Any superstar that wants out, they have the best package over everybody else.
yeah. But if I'm the Thunder, I'm not making that move just because I lost in this series. Like eventually, them and the Spurs are gonna go at it for the next 5 to 6 years. So with any other Western Conference team, good luck. Sorry,
Yeah. Yep.
that was for you and money because the Lakers, you know. But you see it coming, right? You see it coming.
I mean, like whether LeBron stay or not, and I don't want to talk too much about the Lakers, but whether LeBron stay or not, I just know some way or another we would have to go to the Spurs. So
But
this is what
also,
it is.
actually, there's a Laker component to this final series. Think about it: Mike Brown, Josh Hart, Jordan Clarkson. They were all Lakers.
Mike Brown, we don't claim him. Josh Hart and Jordan Clarkson, those are my dogs. You know what I'm saying? Those are my dogs.
And then going
Word.
against your rival, your longtime hated rivals, the Spurs. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's rival, but also there's a lot of respect with them. That
yeah,
team just constantly gave us a lot of battles. Tim Duncan gave me a lot of headaches growing up when I was a kid watching Lakers, especially Tony Parker, another one.
Ginobili,
Ginobili, Bruce
Bruce
Bowen, Steven
Bowen, Steven
Jackson.
Jackson,
Oh my gosh, who else I could name on this
Steve
team?
Smith was on that team too.
Yeah, right. Just a bunch of different players that just came in and just gave us problems. But
Yeah,
I ain't worried about
so
the Lakers right now. Like I don't
yeah,
even think
that's
about them every single day, to be honest with you. Yeah.
all right. So we from segue from the Western Conference Finals to the NBA Finals, which will open up Wednesday night in San Antonio between the New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs.
But before we get into that, the NBA has dropped pictures of the
Up the
court.
court, you got the Larry O'Brien Trophy on the center court, and you got the Finals logo on the wings, and also you got the on the out of bounds. You got the NBA Finals logo on top because
Yo,
there's been a lot of complaints, especially after last year, how in the NBA Finals the courts were so regular, so ordinary like the regular season. It's like nah, you gotta like it's the NBA Finals. You gotta treat it like it's a big series. It's a championship
yeah,
series.
I mean, it's about damn time because even when they heard the backlash of last year and they came out and said that they was going to try to make improvements and stuff, I thought that was a whole lot of BS to be honest with you. Because going through the playoffs, even like back in the early 2000s, they had even the 2010s.
Yeah, the NBA
The
playoff logo.
Yeah, so I thought I thought those were gonna be included as well too, but when I didn't see that, I was like, "Oh, I don't know about this," until, I seen like an early picture, maybe like once the Knicks swept the Cavs, maybe like a day or 2 later, that's when
Hmm.
I seen a sketch that they were gonna bring back the Larry OB, put it back at center court. So I'm like, all right, cool. But this is just me asking for a lot. Next playoffs, just give us all the decals and stuff on the court for the whole entire
Make it like
postseason.
make it like the NBA Cup.
They put so much effort into the NBA Cup.
Yeah,
Every single team got their own court.
I
Um,
c-
Come on now.
and as I've been campaigning since they started the in season tournament, use those courts for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Use those courts for the playoffs.
Like the NBA Cup, the
Yes, these
NBA
are
Cup course for the playoffs?
yeah. The,
Because
I mean,
only reason I say
because
that because there's already a lot going on with those courts. Some of those courts
I
I've
know,
been looking
yeah,
like, yo, like it's low key hurting my eyes to be honest with you. So
but they can condense it though. They can like condense those courts, the color
yeah,
schemes and all that. So, but make it like the in season tournament courts,
yeah.
but not too elaborate, not too extravagant. You know.
Yeah. But I mean, shout out to the NBA for bringing that Larry OB back. I would have never thought in a million years that I'll see the Larry OB center court at Madison Square Garden for the Knicks, to be honest with you.
I'm like,
The, the,
man,
the only time
ooh,
I remember seeing the Larry OB in center court is playing 2K. If you try to get the Knicks to the finals in my career, that's the only time you'll see the Larry, especially when you play like the 2K10s and the 2K11s and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But all in all, just shout out to the NBA for bringing that back. Like that looks that's the NBA finals. And
mm-hmm.
especially since, like you mentioned, Eric, at the top of the show, how the NBA is very happy with the two teams that they have in the finals. Treat it
NBA
like
office
that.
at Madison Avenue.
Treat
They
it
can
like that.
go down Penn
Yeah.
Station to Madison Square Garden, and with those
You know what I'm
ticket
saying?
prices, and with those
Wemby
ticket
is as
prices,
tall as the Empire State Building.
and with
Right.
those
The
ticket
ticket price.
prices,
Yeah.
sheesh, you talking about
Yeah.
$2,000 getting in.
Yep. You
That's
got the
also down
NBA
this.
store right around the corner. Like,
Yep.
yo, I know they rolling their money right now. That's what y'all want, right?
So I went there a couple of days ago. In and out, people rushing in and out,
Yeah.
grabbing Knicks gear for the finals, grabbing Knicks gear for the finals. Like hey, if you don't think that this is a big deal here in New York City, I don't know what you be missing, bro.
Yeah. And to your point, Eric, I mean, even though we live in New York, the amount of people, and some people out there may agree with me, some may not. It is what it is. But
Yeah,
based off what I'm seeing, the amount of people I've seen rocking Nick merch is at an all-time high right now, obvious for obvious reasons. But Nick hats, Nick sweatshirts, Nick's t-shirts, and I feel like a couple years ago, well, let me not say a couple years ago. I want to say like maybe early 2010s, late 2010s, you got laughed at for wearing Nick's
yeah.
merchandise. You wasn't wearing a Knicks hat. You was wearing a Yankee hat, So just to see that,
I was still rocking Knicks
yeah,
stuff
I mean, cause
back
you a
then.
fan. You
Yeah,
a
I'm a fan.
fan. Right. But like people are just doing it because like, yo, the Knicks is in the finals. You know what I mean? Like that's the talk of the town right now. So rightfully so. But again, I am super happy that they put in the Larry OB at center court. The last time they did it was when the Lakers and the Celtics faced off in the NBA. Well, or no, was it? Was it? Or no, it was 2009, right?
The
When
Lakers
the Lakers
Magic.
played the Magic.
Yeah,
It's one of those 2 years, but yeah, it looked great, and I just hope they keep that. Keep that.
yeah, and they will. So the segue from the finals to matchups.
It's the good part. Quick break. If you guys are still tapping in, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps the pod go crazy and help us reach a bigger audience. So thank you guys again for watching. Now let's get back to the show.
What are your key matchups going into this series? Because the Knicks did beat the Spurs 2 out of 3. It's not going to be the same for the Spurs defensively, schematic wise, because you're going to have to deal with a 5-out offense with the Knicks, who can shoot at every position. That's including Josh Hart. If he starts hitting his threes, then it's going to be a real big problem for the Spurs. So who's your key matchup that you're looking forward to?
The key matchup is it's the elephant in the room, man. It's Cat and Wemby on both sides of the basketball because the narrative with Cat is, and rightfully so, that he picks up dumb fouls and stuff, even though he's been better this playoff series. But how can he withstand the physicality of Wemby, and how can Wemby stand with the physicality of him? Just the overall front court, that whole situation with Wemby, Luke Cornett, Mitchell Robinson, and Cat, because we see what Oklahoma was able to do when Wemby sat on the bench. The Spurs look low-key lost when Wemby sat on the bench. And that's why I said earlier, well, I think you mentioned it, Luke Cornett had his best defensive possession of the playoffs of the series, and it came at the right time. So how does the Knicks attack that when both starting centers are both on the bench? Also for Wemby, how can he dominate in the paint? Because my thing going into game 7 of that series with Oklahoma was, well, Wemby's gonna have to dominate in the paint because every single time he's dominated and like had over 30, the Spurs won. But last game, like 22 points, 7 rebounds, he had a block, a steal. Wemby, just his presence alone was able to shake that game. And while we're on the topic, like he became the first player in NBA history to have 15 threes and 15 blocks in a series. And I try to think like, damn, like who skill set is like that. We've seen shooting bigs in the past. We've seen bigs who could block shots in the past. But when have we seen both at the same time? You see what I mean? So if he breaks all of that, it's going to be a tough matchup, but that's the matchup I'm interested to see.
For me, same thing, Cat and Wemby, but also Mitchell Robinson, even though he has that picky finger, I still think he's going to be effective. And also, he did have 15 rebounds over Wemby, and Wemby has said that Mitchell Robinson gives him trouble. Keep an eye on that matchup as that series
Yeah.
goes along, and also minutes, Wemby's minutes, because he usually plays like around 30 to 35 minutes a game, or even
You got to
28
up
minutes.
that.
You got to in this series, you got to play these 38 to 40 minutes,
And that
and
was
so
one of my issues with that series, that last year for
this series going
Oklahoma.
to 7 games. And I think also here's also another thing: this will be the third straight series that the Knicks will play an opponent coming up for the full 7 game series. The previous 2, they swept their opponents.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. I know because I know they're I know because I'm hearing predictions and listen to other podcasts and Knicks fans. They're like, "Hey, Knicks in 4, Knicks in 5, Knicks in 6. The matchup. This is the matchup we all wanted." And like, okay. And then earlier today I watched the 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 game from the Knicks Spurs back in March. And also the game from the NBA Cup championship game. And also we watched the game from New Year's Eve.
What you see, Eric?
Hmm.
What you see? What you see? What you see?
If you pull Wemby out of the paint, in which Cat can do and shoot a 3, or if he Wemby was to crowd up the paint, Cat can drive, spray it out to the corners, Mikal, OG, and also Spurs guards, the point guard. Um, this I don't think they're gonna load up on Brunson like they did against
Shai?
SGA.
Dude,
Yeah.
low key, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, that because Brunson does a lot of his damage in the mid range, just like Shai.
hmm Yeah.
And I what gave Shai the advantage is he's a little bit taller than Brunson.
hmm
So I'm looking at like guys like Dylan Harper and Devin Vassell and Stephon Castle. They all 6'5", 6'6". And I believe like if I'm the Spurs, I would go with that same tactic just to see what the Knicks offense could give you, because in game 1, they was doing that every single possession against Shai, and I got Caruso 30 points. So it's like you got to pick your poison. You know what I mean?
And also Brunson is going to be off the ball more because you know they're going to have
Is
Cat
it
up in the
cat
on the pinch
on
post
the
on the
high post?
elbow. Looking at offside cuts between OG and Brunson, and also you got Mikal on the opposite side, but Josh. So, uh, so if you're the Spurs, you got to pick your poison. And also, if I'm the Knicks, I'm putting OG on Stephon Castle.
Ooh.
You know, I mentioned on the last podcast, Stephon Castle has turned the ball over a lot of times, especially during that last series. He had 11 in game one, 9 in game two. He had 6 last night. I'll put the
Yeah.
ball in
He's
his
a magnet
hands,
for turnovers,
for,
man.
and then I put my best defender OG. I get to get that ball pressure, and guess what? I'm turning that ball over. I'm getting down and running, and I'm getting easy points. Also, I could
Mhm.
put Mikal on Stephon Castle and put
Yep.
OG Devin Vassell, or if I really want to, I could put OG on Wemby because of his girth, his size,
And his
even though it's tall,
physicality, yep.
but
Yeah.
he can really push him off the paint, push him off his spot, and I'll start to tire Wemby out. So the Knicks can go a lot of different ways with this lineup, and also with coming off the bench. The Knicks need to have their bench come off and start producing.
Mhm.
Deuce, Shamit, Clarkson, Mitch. So those are your 4 off the bench. Hopefully Shamit stays out like he did the last series. Deuce, hopefully he gets a shot going, which he should. Jordan Clarkson, he'll come in and provide a couple minutes, a good solid minutes, and Mitch as you know the lobs to see how his pinky is, but he should come in solid. So this matchup, if it favors the Knicks, I know a lot of people going for the Spurs in this series because the young, athletic Wemby, but I'm not sure if the Spurs have enough coming off the bench to score. I know you got the Dylan Harper, you can score Harrison Barnes,
Keldon Johnson.
Keldon Johnson.
Yeah.
I really want to see the young guys of the Spurs, especially when they get to the Garden, and
How do they take that
how they
atmosphere? Yeah.
the atmosphere in Game 3. God forbid if the Knicks go up 2-0
How
in the
does
series.
anybody play in that type of environment?
If and God forbid if the Knicks take the first 2 in San Antonio,
Remember what we
because you
said
know
last episode?
because you know they're capable of doing that. They're capable of taking winning the first 2 games in San Antonio,
Yeah.
and it could be vice versa. So and
One thing I
also
learned.
the rest and the rust. Knicks been resting for another 8 days.
Yeah.
So and also they've been practicing a little bit more. They've been having they also had a ample amount of time to game plan for both teams now as the Spurs. So they also got tape. So they're gonna be ready, fresh legs, be fresh coming into the series, and let's see how the Spurs regroup after that grueling 7 game series against the Thunder. So let's see how those matchups evolve, and then there's any cross matches or adjustments each team's gonna make. So we'll see.
So who do you say for both teams? Who is the X factor?
For me, X Factor, Mikal Bridges.
He got to continue to be a flamethrower.
Yeah, he's been a
Because on his
flamethrower
win
since
streak that you guys are on,
yeah
he's shooting the
the
piss
lights
out of the
out.
ball. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Yeah.
also the mid range. If he gets his mid range going, then it's
Yep.
gonna be trouble for the Spurs.
Yeah. And then on San Antonio,
Spurs, Julian Champagny.
ooh, yeah, coming off a good game. What he had 20 last night,
Yeah, 20
right?
last night. Yeah,
25, 5 for 7 for 3, right? Because he was
yeah.
making some big shots too. Every time
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma had a stretch where they were scoring in bunches,
Because they're gonna need
Petty,
because they're gonna need to match scoring power for scoring power.
yeah,
Because you're gonna need scoring off the bench, especially Keldon and
Dylan
Keldon
Harper,
Johnson and Dylan Harper. Yes,
yeah,
so you need scoring from those 2 off the bench. Also, Champagny, they need to get him wide open looks from 3. The one game that they won back in New Year's Eve, he drilled 11 threes on the Knicks. So if they can get that production out of him, then the Spurs do have a chance.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But it's
mean,
got to be but it has to be consistent.
yeah.
If it's inconsistent
Because he was
with
struggling at the beginning of
he
that
was struggling
series
in the
against
beginning of that series,
Oklahoma.
so
Yeah.
he has to score at a consistent level for the Spurs to have a chance.
Yeah. For me, on San Antonio, I would say Castle, and more so how he defends Brunson,
Hmm.
because Castle was just overly aggressive with Shai, and you know the NBA loves Shai. They love giving Shai those calls. And there was a what was it game? Was it game 3 where Stephon Castle had took 2 hard fouls back to back, and
Mm-hmm.
like that just psyched him out the game. So I think the way he guards Brunson is going to be very important because, I mean, even though you got De'Aaron Fox also in the backcourt as well too, who's been kind of up and down this entire series, especially with him dealing with the ankle injury and everything. They would need Castle, and you can't be out here picking up ticky tacky fouls. I look at some of the fouls he picked up on Shai, and I was just
Yeah,
him just being overly aggressive.
and also if they're gonna do the hack and Mitch, you better be careful because the Knicks will put you in the penalty early and get to the free throw line. So
Yeah,
you gotta ease up on your. You gotta be. You could be aggressive on defense, but be smart
yeah,
because knowing Brunson, he's savvy enough to create those matchups where he can like finagle you and then bait you to fouling him, and then next thing you know, you at the free throw. He's at the free throw line for 10, 11 times a game.
yep.
So
That's something you don't want. And then I think the two things that you see in the box score that the series was going to come down to: one, the rebounding,
yes,
and two, the points over turnovers.
yes,
Knicks are very deadly with converting points over TOs, and Spurs also do a good job at that as well too. So whoever can win those two battles, I think that's a championship right
yeah.
there.
Whoever can commit the less turnovers in this series.
Yeah. And with that being said, to wrap things up, Eric, I already know your prediction. You said it
I had the
last,
Knicks in five. I had Knicks in five. And I'm
and
sticking
I
with it.
wanna
Knicks in five.
and I wanna shout
Knicks
out
in five.
everybody for tuning in. Everybody, we appreciate the engagement. We appreciate the conversation. A lot of people say Eric is crazy. He's a delusional Knicks fan, but like, yo, be happy for my guy, man. They in the finals right now. You know what I'm saying? They riding this wave, and they have a very great chance of winning. So for me,
We
I
talking
feel
about
like,
1973. It's time. Operation Sweep and Bandits is almost complete.
man, my mom and dad was even here, man, in '73. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, so I mean, for me, I got Knicks in 7. I got the New
Hmm.
York Knicks win the championship in a game 7 on the road.
Hmm.
And just like I said last episode, they better win that shit on the road
Because
because
if they win it, if it goes to a sweep at the Garden, or if they win it in 6 at the Garden, yeah.
yeah.
And
So
I also said that Knicks in 5 because game 5's on a Saturday. So in my Saturday is in San Antonio, but
I don't think
yeah,
nobody's going to work that following week.
exactly.
Yeah, and especially, like you mentioned earlier, the World Cup being in New York, yo, and then you also got Jay-Z performing in July.
Yep.
This summer is gonna be on fire. Like, everybody stay safe. Word.
Stay home. Stay home.
Stay, yeah,
Stay
stay
home.
safe, man.
Stay
So,
home, bro.
but Eric, any last words before we sign off?
Last words, bring it home. Bring home the championship.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that. And for me, I want to say thank you again, guys, for watching. Appreciate you guys for tuning into the pod. Make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and comments. We love the engagement, man. Follow us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. What we on? Spotify. Everywhere that has a streaming platform, that's where we at. So thank you guys again for tuning in. It's Armani and Eric signing out. And just like our homie Ernest always saying, watch some
Watch some
damn
damn basketball,
basketball.
especially starting Wednesday.
They said sports brings one joy. And it's a distraction from the world. But in actuality, it just brings pain.
Picking sixth is Brooklyn Nets.